Alex Carter walked across the MIT campus with his worn backpack slung over one shoulder. The autumn leaves crunched under his sneakers as he made his way to the physics building. Students around him chatted about weekend plans and upcoming exams, but Alex's mind was elsewhere. He was thinking about quantum mechanics and how the equations he had been working on the night before seemed to solve themselves. At 22, Alex looked like any other graduate student. He wore simple jeans and a blue hoodie. His brown hair was a bit messy, and he needed a shave. But behind his ordinary appearance was a mind that worked in ways no one could explain. His professors called him gifted. His classmates called him lucky. None of them knew the truth. Agent Lisa Torres sat in her black sedan across the street from the physics building. She had been watching Alex for 18 months now. Every morning she followed the same routine. She would park here at 7:30 and watch Alex walk to class. She would stay until he left in the evening. Her job was simple: observe and report. But her bosses never told her why Alex Carter was so important. Lisa adjusted her rearview mirror and picked up her coffee. The file on Alex was thin and mostly useless. Born in Ohio. Parents died in a car crash when he was 5. Raised by his grandmother until she passed away when he was 18. Full scholarship to MIT. No criminal record. No unusual friends or activities. He seemed perfectly normal, except for one thing. He was too smart. Alex entered the physics building and took the elevator to the 4th floor. His first class was Advanced Quantum Mechanics with Dr. Helen Brooks. She was one of the best physics professors in the country, and even she was amazed by Alex's abilities. As Alex walked into the classroom, Dr. Brooks smiled. "Good morning, Alex. Ready for today's challenge?" Alex nodded and took his usual seat, in the front row. There were only 12 students in this advanced class. Most of them were older PhD candidates who had been studying physics for years. Alex was the youngest by far, but he understood concepts that took others months to learn. Dr. Brooks wrote a complex equation on the whiteboard. It dealt with quantum entanglement, one of the most difficult topics in physics. "Can anyone tell me how to solve this?" she asked. The other students stared at the equation. Some took out their calculators. Others flipped through their textbooks. Alex simply looked at the board for a few seconds, then raised his hand. "Yes, Alex?" Alex stood up and walked to the board. He picked up a marker and began writing. The equations seemed to flow from his mind to his hand. He added symbols and numbers that made perfect sense, even though some of them looked strange to the other students. Within 3 minutes, he had solved what should have taken hours. Dr. Brooks stared at the solution. It was correct, but some of the mathematical methods Alex had used were unfamiliar to her. "Alex, where did you learn this approach?" Alex paused. He looked confused for a moment, as if he was trying to remember something that was just out of reach. "I'm not sure. It just seemed right." This happened often. Alex would solve problems using methods he couldn't explain. He would have insights that came from nowhere. Sometimes he would wake up in the morning with the solution to a problem he had been working on, as if his sleeping mind was smarter than his waking one. After class, Alex walked to the library. He found his usual spot at a table near the back and opened his laptop. He was working on a research paper about faster-than-light communication. The topic was mostly theoretical, since most scientists believed it was impossible. But Alex had ideas that seemed to make it work. As he typed, Alex felt that familiar sensation again. It was like listening to a conversation in another room. He couldn't make out the words, but he could sense the meaning. New ideas would flow into his mind, complete and perfect. He would write them down without questioning where they came from. Lisa Torres watched through binoculars from a building across the street. She could see Alex through the library windows. He was typing quickly, stopping only to stare out the window with a distant look in his eyes. Lisa had seen this behavior many times. Alex would pause his work and seem to listen to something no one else could hear. Her phone buzzed with a text message from her handler, Agent Paul Martinez. "Any unusual activity today?" Lisa typed back. "Same as always." Subject displays advanced knowledge beyond normal human capability. Still no explanation for source. She had written similar reports dozens of times. Alex Carter was clearly special, but she couldn't figure out why the FBI cared so much. Her security clearance wasn't high enough to access the full file on Alex. All she knew was that her assignment was classified at the highest levels. Back in the library, Alex was having one of his strange experiences again. As he worked on his paper, images flashed through his mind. He saw vast machines in space, cities that floated among the stars, and beings that looked almost human, but weren't quite right. The images were so clear and detailed that they felt like memories, but Alex knew he had never seen these things before. He shook his head and tried to focus on his work. These daydreams had been happening more often lately. Sometimes they were so vivid that he forgot where he was for a few minutes. He had never told anyone about them. They would think he was crazy. Dr. Brooks found Alex in the library that afternoon. She had been thinking about his solution to the quantum entanglement problem all day. "Alex, can I speak with you for a moment?" Alex looked up from his laptop. "Sure, Dr. Brooks, what's wrong?" "Nothing's wrong. I just wanted to ask you about your work this morning. Some of the mathematical symbols you used aren't in any textbook I know. Where did you encounter them?" Alex felt uncomfortable. This wasn't the first time a professor had asked him about his unusual methods. "I think I might have seen them online somewhere. There are a lot of research papers on the internet." Dr. Brooks nodded, but she didn't look convinced. She had spent 30 years studying physics, and she had never seen anything like Alex's approach. The symbols he used seemed to come from a completely different mathematical system, yet they worked perfectly with human physics. As the day ended, Alex packed up his things and left the library. Lisa Torres followed at a distance as he walked, back to his apartment building. It was a simple brick building near campus, nothing special about it. Alex lived alone in a small one-bedroom apartment on the 3rd floor. What neither Alex nor Lisa knew was that 50 feet beneath the building, something had been waiting for 23 years. Something that had been slowly changing Alex's mind since he was born. Something that would soon change everything for all of humanity. That night, Alex had the dream again. He was standing in a vast room filled with screens showing different worlds. Beings with large eyes and pale skin were working at control panels. One of them turned to look at him and spoke without moving its mouth. "Soon," it said. "Very soon, Alex Carter, your people will need you." Alex woke up in a cold sweat. The dream felt more real than ever before. He got up and walked to his window, looking out at the quiet street below. He didn't notice the black sedan parked across the street, or the woman inside watching his apartment. He didn't know that his life was about to change forever. Director Kate Sullivan sat in her office on the 10th floor of a building that didn't officially exist. The sign outside said it was a consulting firm, but inside her team worked on cases that would make most people think they were crazy. Her department tracked what they called anomalous individuals, people who showed abilities that couldn't be explained by normal human development. Kate opened the thick file marked Carter Alex, Project Looking Glass. The file had been growing for 18 months, filled with reports from Agent Torres and analysis from the FBI's best scientists. Every report said the same thing. Alex Carter knew things he shouldn't know and solved problems in ways that shouldn't work. Her phone rang. It was Agent Paul Martinez calling from the field office. "Director, we have a situation with the Carter case. Torres sent me something that changes everything." Kate leaned forward in her chair. "What kind of something?" The NR subject wrote equations yesterday that match intercepted alien communications from the Nevada site. Exact matches. The problem is those communications were never decoded. Our best cryptographers have been working on them for 15 years with no success. Kate felt her blood run cold. The Nevada site was where they had recovered alien technology from a crashed spacecraft. The technology was so advanced that human scientists still couldn't understand most of it. If Alex was somehow accessing that same information, it meant he was connected to something far bigger than they had imagined. "Send me everything. I'm authorizing a full investigation under Protocol 7. Agent Lisa Torres received the new orders that evening. Protocol 7 meant she could use any resources necessary to understand Alex Carter. It also meant the case had become a matter of national security. She looked at the list of new team members who would be joining her: scientists, code breakers, and specialists in alien technology. The next morning, Torres watched Alex enter the MIT campus as usual, but this time she wasn't alone. Dr. Sam Green, a specialist in xenobiology, sat in the passenger seat. In the van behind them were 3 more agents and equipment that could monitor electromagnetic signals from half a mile away. "Tell me again, why we think this college student is connected to alien technology," Dr. Green said. Torres handed him a folder. "Look at page 15. Those equations Alex wrote solve the same problems as the alien communications from Nevada. But here's the strange part. Alex wrote them 3 days before we intercepted the alien signals." Dr. Green studied the papers. He had spent 10 years trying to understand alien mathematics, and seeing Alex's work made him uncomfortable. "This is impossible. Either this young man is in direct contact with alien intelligence or he's not human himself." Alex sat in Dr. Brooks' office that afternoon. She had called him in to discuss his latest research paper. The paper described a method for faster-than-light communication that used quantum particles in ways no human had ever thought of before. "Alex, I need to ask you some serious questions," Dr. Brooks said. "Your work is brilliant, but it's also troubling. You're describing technologies that are decades beyond our current understanding. Where are these ideas coming from?" Alex shifted uncomfortably in his chair. "I told you before, I'm not sure. Sometimes I just know things. It's like the information is already in my head waiting for me to find it." Dr. Brooks leaned forward. "Have you ever considered that you might be accessing information from an outside source, perhaps without realizing it?" "What do you mean by outside source?" "I mean something that isn't human." Alex stared at her. "Are you asking if I think I'm talking to aliens?" "I'm asking if you've ever wondered why you can solve problems that stump the smartest people in the world. Alex, some of the symbols you use in your equations don't exist in any human mathematical system. I've checked with colleagues around the world. No one has ever seen them before." That night, Alex couldn't sleep. Dr. Brooks's questions had disturbed him more than he wanted to admit. He got up and walked to his computer. He opened a new document and began writing, letting his mind wander. The words flowed onto the screen without conscious thought. "The Harmony Collective has been watching your species for 300 of your years. We select individuals who can serve as bridges between our civilizations. The chosen ones receive enhanced cognitive abilities through quantum resonance patterns. They become translators of thought and knowledge between species." Alex stopped typing and stared at the screen. He had no memory of writing those words. They had appeared as if someone else was typing through his hands. He deleted the document and went back to bed, but sleep wouldn't come. 2 days later, the investigation team made a breakthrough. Dr. Green was analyzing electromagnetic readings from Alex's apartment building when he noticed something unusual. "There's a strong signal coming from underground. It's not coming from any utility lines or building systems." Torres coordinated with the city planning office to get blueprints of the area. The building had been constructed 25 years ago on empty land, but the ground-penetrating radar showed something metallic buried 50 feet below the foundation. "The object is roughly cylindrical, about 6 feet long and 2 feet wide," the technician reported. "It's made of materials that don't match anything in our database, and it's generating a low-level electromagnetic field." Director Sullivan arrived at the site within hours. She brought with her a team of specialists in alien technology recovery. "How long has that thing been down there?" "Based on the construction records, it was here before the building was built. The signal patterns match the frequency signatures from the Nevada crash site." Sullivan felt pieces of a puzzle clicking into place. "So we have an alien device that's been underground for over 2 decades, and directly above it lives a young man with impossible knowledge of alien science. That's not a coincidence." The team set up continuous monitoring equipment around Alex's building. They tracked every electromagnetic pulse from the buried object and compared it to Alex's daily activities. The results were startling. The object becomes more active whenever Alex is in his apartment, Dr. Green reported. The signal strength increases by 300% when he's sleeping. It's like the device is communicating with him through some kind of neural interface. Agent Martinez pulled Torres aside. We need to get closer to the subject. The director wants someone on the inside. Torres had been thinking the same thing. I have an idea. There's a visiting researcher position open in the physics department. I could apply and work directly with Alex. Within a week, Torres had a new identity as Dr. Lisa Parker, a researcher studying theoretical physics. She was assigned to work with Dr. Brooks's team, which meant she would be in daily contact with Alex. On her first day, Torres introduced herself to Alex in the campus coffee shop. Hi, I'm Lisa Parker. I'm the new visiting researcher. Dr. Brooks said you're working on some fascinating projects. Alex looked up from his laptop. Nice to meet you. What's your area of research? Communication theory, specifically quantum entanglement. Applications. I heard you've been working on faster-than-light communication methods. Alex's eyes lit up. Yes, I've been developing some theories. Most people think it's impossible, but I think there might be a way to make it work. As they talked, Torres noticed the same distant look that appeared in Alex's eyes during his strange episodes. For a moment, he seemed to be listening to something she couldn't hear. Then he blinked and focused on her again. Sorry, I just had an idea. Sometimes solutions just pop into my head. That evening, Torres reported back to her team. The subject shows clear signs of receiving external information. During our conversation, he paused several times as if receiving transmissions. He also mentioned that solutions pop into his head without conscious effort. Director Sullivan reviewed the day's reports. The electromagnetic readings showed that the buried object had been unusually active during Torres's meeting with Alex. It was as if the device was responding to Alex's emotional state or mental activity. We're looking at some kind of alien mentoring system, she concluded. That device has been slowly teaching Alex for years, preparing him for something. The question is, what are they preparing him for? The answer came sooner than anyone expected. Deep space monitoring stations around the world began picking up signals from beyond the solar system. The signals were strong, organized, and getting closer. Someone was coming to Earth, and based on the frequency patterns, they were using the same technology as the device buried under Alex's apartment. Alex woke up that night from the most vivid dream yet. He was standing in a vast ship surrounded by beings with large eyes and pale skin. One of them approached him and spoke in a voice that echoed in his mind. The time approaches, Alex Carter. Your people will soon learn they are not alone. You have been chosen to help them understand. Are you ready to fulfill your purpose? Alex woke up gasping. The dream felt more real than reality itself. As he sat on the edge of his bed, he realized that his life was about to change in ways he couldn't imagine. Somewhere deep beneath his apartment, an alien device pulsed with energy, responding to his awakening awareness. The invasion was coming, but it might not be the kind of invasion anyone expected. The alien signals grew stronger every day. Deep space telescopes around the world tracked two separate fleets approaching Earth. The first fleet moved in smooth, curved paths that suggested peaceful intentions. The second fleet traveled in straight, aggressive lines that made military analysts nervous. Director Kate Sullivan called an emergency meeting in the underground briefing room. Maps of the solar system covered the walls, showing the paths of both alien fleets. Red dots marked the hostile fleet while blue dots showed the peaceful one. The friendly fleet will reach Earth in 6 days, she announced to her team. The hostile fleet will arrive 3 days later. Based on their signal patterns, we believe both groups are coming for the same thing, the device buried under Alex Carter's apartment. Agent Torres raised her hand. What exactly is that device? Dr. Green stood up and pointed to a holographic display. We've been analyzing the electromagnetic patterns for weeks. The device is a probe sent here 23 years ago. Its mission was to find and prepare a human individual for first contact. Alex Carter was chosen as an infant. The room fell silent. Everyone stared at the display showing Alex's brain patterns compared to normal human patterns. The differences were remarkable. The probe has been slowly changing Alex's neural pathways since he was a baby, Dr. Green continued. It didn't control his mind or replace his personality. Instead, it enhanced his natural learning abilities and gave him access to alien knowledge databases. Torres felt sick. She had been watching Alex for months, getting to know him as a person. The idea that his entire life had been shaped by alien influence was hard to accept. Is he still human? She asked. That's the question we're all asking, Director Sullivan replied. Alex is human, but he's also something more. He's become a bridge between human and alien intelligence. His brain can now translate concepts between our species and theirs. The next day, Torres met Alex at the campus library as usual. She was supposed to be gathering information, but she found herself genuinely caring about what would happen to him. Alex seemed different lately, more alert, more aware of his surroundings. Lisa, can I ask you something strange? Alex said as they worked on equations together. Of course. What is it? Do you ever feel like you're being watched? I mean, really, watched. Not just the normal campus security cameras. Torres tried to keep her expression neutral. Why do you ask? I've been having these feelings lately, like there are people around me who aren't what they seem. And my dreams are getting more intense. I dream about beings from other worlds, and they tell me that something big is coming. Torres realized that Alex was becoming aware of the surveillance. The alien enhancement was making him more perceptive. She decided to take a risk. Alex, what if I told you that your dreams might be real? That you might actually be in contact with beings from other worlds? Alex stopped writing and looked at her carefully. I would ask you how you know about my dreams. I never told anyone about them. What if I told you that you're more important than you realize? That your abilities might be the key to something much bigger than physics research? Before Alex could answer, his phone rang. It was Dr. Brooks asking him to come to her office immediately. When Alex arrived, he found Dr. Brooks talking to two people in dark suits. Alex, these people are from the government. They need to speak with you about your research. Agent Martinez stepped forward. Mr. Carter, I'm Agent Martinez with the FBI. We need to discuss your recent work on quantum communication and some of the unusual mathematical methods you've been using. Alex felt a chill run down his spine. Am I in trouble? Not in trouble, but you may be in danger. We have reason to believe that your research has attracted attention from hostile forces. We need to take you to a secure location. What kind of hostile forces? Martinez exchanged a look with his partner. The kind that aren't from Earth. 2 hours later, Alex found himself in an underground facility he didn't know existed. The walls were lined with screens showing space imagery and alien technology. Scientists in white coats worked at computer terminals, analyzing data from deep space. Director Sullivan entered the room where Alex waited. She looked tired and worried. Mr. Carter, I'm going to tell you things that will be hard to believe, but I need you to listen carefully because the survival of our planet may depend on your cooperation. Alex nodded, feeling like he was in a dream. 23 years ago, an alien probe crashed near your hometown. The probe was damaged but still functional. Its mission was to find and prepare a human individual for eventual contact between our species. You were chosen when you were 6 months old. Sullivan showed Alex images of the probe being excavated from beneath his apartment building. This device has been enhancing your mental abilities since you were a baby. It gave you access to alien knowledge and taught you to think in ways that can bridge the gap between human and alien intelligence. Alex stared at the images. Everything started to make sense. His unusual abilities, the strange dreams, the feeling that information was being fed directly into his mind. The aliens who sent the probe are called the Harmony Collective. They're peaceful explorers who believe in helping younger species develop safely. But they're not the only aliens heading toward Earth. She showed him images of the two approaching fleets. The second group is called the Dominion Empire. They believe that any species capable of reaching the stars is a threat that must be eliminated or enslaved. They detected the probe's activation and are coming to destroy it and anyone connected to it. Alex felt overwhelmed. Why are you telling me this? Because the Harmony fleet will arrive in 4 days, and the Dominion fleet will arrive shortly. After. When they get here, you'll be the only person on Earth who can communicate with both groups. You're humanity's first and only ambassador to alien civilizations. That night, Alex lay in a small room in the underground facility. He couldn't sleep. The dreams came more intensely than ever before. He saw vast ships moving through space, filled with beings who looked almost human, but with larger eyes and pale skin. One of the beings approached him in the dream. "Alex Carter, we are close now. Can you hear us clearly?" "Yes," Alex replied in the dream. "I can hear you." "Good. We know the Dominion ships are coming. They will try to destroy your world before we can establish contact. You must help your people understand that we come in peace. Many of your leaders will be frightened and may attack us. How can I make them understand? Use the knowledge we have given you. Show them that cooperation between species is possible. Demonstrate that humans have something valuable to offer the galaxy. Your ability to adapt and find creative solutions to impossible problems." Alex woke up with a start. The room was dark, but he wasn't alone. Agent Torres sat in a chair beside his bed. "I heard you talking in your sleep," she said softly. "You were having one of those dreams, weren't you?" "Lisa, I need to tell you something. The dreams aren't really dreams. I'm actually talking to the aliens who are coming here. They're trying to help us prepare for first contact." Torres leaned forward. "What are they telling you?" "They're warning us about the other aliens, the Dominion. When both fleets arrive, there's going to be a confrontation. If we handle it wrong, it could mean war between 3 different species." Alex sat up and looked directly at her. "I also know that you're not really a visiting researcher. You're FBI and you've been watching me for over a year." Torres was shocked. "How did you know?" "The aliens told me. They've been monitoring all the surveillance around me. They're not angry about it. They understand that your government is trying to protect your people. But they need me to trust you completely if this is going to work." "Trust me to do what?" "Help me save both our species. When the aliens arrive, everything changes. Humanity will never be the same. But if we do this right, we can become part of something amazing. If we do it wrong, we might not survive." Alex walked to the small window in his room. Though they were underground, he could see a sliver of night sky through a ventilation shaft. Somewhere up there, 2 alien fleets were racing toward Earth. In just a few days, the course of human history would be decided. "I need to prepare," he said. "The Harmony Collective has been teaching me for 23 years. But now I have to put that education to use. I have to become the bridge between worlds." Torres stood up and joined him at the window. "What do you need me to do?" "Help me convince the world that not all aliens are enemies. When the ships arrive, people are going to panic. They're going to want to fight. But fighting is exactly what the Dominion wants. If we attack the Harmony ships, we'll be proving that humans are too violent to join the galactic community." Above them, stars twinkled in the darkness. Soon, some of those lights would be alien ships carrying the future of humanity in their hulls. The first alien ships appeared on Earth's radar screens at dawn on Tuesday morning. 3 sleek vessels emerged from behind the moon, their surfaces shimmering like liquid silver. They moved with graceful curves, avoiding any aggressive positioning that might frighten human observers. Alex stood in the command center watching the screens with Director Sullivan and her team. His connection to the Harmony Collective was stronger than ever. He could feel their thoughts as they approached Earth, their excitement mixed with concern about how humans would react. "They're trying to communicate," Alex said. "They're sending peaceful signals on multiple frequencies, but they're worried that your military will see them as a threat." General Robert Hayes, the military liaison, frowned at the displays. 3 unknown vessels just appeared in our solar system. Of course we see them as a threat. How do we know they're really peaceful? Alex closed his eyes and focused on the alien voices in his mind. Commander Zeta wants to speak directly to Earth's leaders. She's offering to share information about their technology and culture as a sign of good faith. "She?" Agent Torres asked. "The Harmony Collective doesn't have gender the way humans do, but Commander Zeta thinks in patterns that feel female to me. It's hard to explain." Director Sullivan activated the communication array. "Mr. Carter, Can you facilitate contact between us and their commander? Alex nodded and placed his hands on the console. The alien probe buried beneath his apartment building had been moved to the facility and was now connected to the communication systems. As Alex touched the controls, the probe glowed with soft blue light. The main screen flickered and an image appeared. The being on the screen was tall and thin, with large dark eyes and pale skin that seemed to glow from within. When she spoke, her words came through Alex's mind and out of his mouth. "Greetings, people of Earth. I am Commander Zeta of the Harmony Collective. We have watched your species develop for many centuries. We come to offer friendship and knowledge." General Hayes stepped forward. "Why should we trust you? You've been manipulating one of our citizens for years." Alex translated the question, and Commander Zeta's response came back through him. "We enhanced Alex Carter's abilities to create a bridge between our peoples. We did not control him or change his personality. He remains fully human, but with the ability to understand both species." "What do you want from us?" Director Sullivan asked. "We want to welcome humanity into the galactic community. Your species has remarkable potential. You adapt quickly, solve problems creatively, and show compassion for other forms of life. These are rare qualities in the galaxy." The conversation was interrupted by alarms throughout the facility. Dr. Green ran to his console and his face went, "Halikome, Director, we have a problem. 7 large ships just entered the solar system from the opposite direction. They're moving in attack formation." Alex felt a chill of fear from Commander Zeta's mind. The Dominion Empire has arrived. They're earlier than expected. The new ships were massive and dark, built like weapons rather than exploration vessels. They moved in perfect military formation, heading directly toward Earth. Their first action was to send a message on all frequencies. "Primitive species of the third planet. You are in violation of Dominion space. Surrender your planet and submit to Dominion rule, or be destroyed." General Hayes looked at Alex. "I don't suppose your alien friends can help us fight them off?" Alex shook his head. "The Harmony Collective are explorers and scientists, not warriors. Their ships have defensive shields but no weapons. If this turns into a battle, the Dominion will destroy them easily." "Then what do we do?" Alex felt Commander Zeta's thoughts flowing through his mind. "She says there might be another way. The Dominion believes that might makes right. They think humans are weak because we haven't developed advanced weapons. But they don't understand what humans are really capable of." "What does that mean?" Alex paused, receiving more information from the alien commander. "The Dominion has destroyed dozens of other species, but they've never encountered a species like humanity. Most races either fight them with weapons or surrender immediately. Humans might be able to do something they've never seen before." "Which is what?" "Negotiate. Find a solution that benefits everyone. Show them that cooperation is stronger than conquest." Director Sullivan looked skeptical. "You want us to have a peace talk with aliens who just threatened to destroy our planet?" Commander Zeta says the Dominion respects strength, but they define strength differently than humans do. They think strength means having the biggest weapons. But what if we could show them that strength means being smart enough to turn enemies into allies? The Dominion ships moved closer to Earth, while the Harmony vessels positioned themselves between the attackers and the planet. It was clear that the smaller Harmony ships couldn't stop the Dominion fleet, but they were willing to try. Alex suddenly straightened up. "I'm getting a message from the Dominion commander. He wants to speak with Earth's leaders before beginning the attack." The screen changed, showing a being that looked like a cross between a human and a reptile. His skin was dark green and his eyes were cold and calculating. When he spoke, his voice was harsh and threatening. "I am War Commander Vex of the Dominion Empire. Your world will be conquered or destroyed. But I am curious about this human who can speak with aliens. Send him to my ship. If he impresses me, I might allow some of your population to live as slaves." Alex felt the room tense around him. Agent Torres grabbed his arm. "You're not going up there." "I have to. It's the only chance we have." Director Sullivan shook her head. "It's too dangerous. We can't risk losing you." Alex looked around the room at all the worried faces. You don't understand. This is why I was chosen. This is what I've been preparing for my entire life. The Harmony Collective knew this day would come. They knew I would have to face the Dominion. Commander Zeta's image reappeared on the screen. Alex Carter, we will transport you to the Dominion ship. But remember, you carry the hopes of 3 species now. Show them what humanity can achieve. An hour later, Alex stood on the bridge of the massive Dominion warship. War Commander Vex towered over him, surrounded by warrior soldiers with weapons that could destroy cities. The bridge was dark and intimidating, designed to frighten enemies. So you are the human who speaks with aliens, Vex said, his voice echoing in the metal chamber. Tell me why I should not destroy your pathetic world. Alex took a deep breath. Because destroying us would be a waste. Humanity has something to offer the galaxy that you can't get through conquest. And what is that? The ability to solve problems that seem impossible, the ability to adapt to any situation, the ability to find new ways of thinking that no one has tried before. Vex laughed, a sound like grinding metal. Your species has barely learned to travel between planets. What could you possibly offer the Dominion Empire? Alex activated a portable holographic projector that the Harmony Collective had given him. Images filled the air showing human achievements, art, music, literature, scientific discoveries, acts of compassion and cooperation. Look at what humans have created in just a few thousand years of civilization. We went from using stone tools to exploring space. We've created beauty, solved complex problems, and learned to work together despite our differences. Impressive but irrelevant. The strong rule the weak. That is the way of the universe. Is it? Alex asked. Your empire is vast and powerful, but it's also brittle. You rule through fear and force. What happens when you meet a species that's stronger than you? What happens when your weapons aren't enough? Vex's eyes narrowed. We are the strongest species in the galaxy. Maybe you are now. But strength built on fear and conquest doesn't last forever. Strength built on cooperation and mutual benefit can last for thousands of years. Alex gestured to the holographic display. Humans have been fighting each other for centuries, but we've also learned to work together. We've learned that cooperation achieves more than conquest. That's what the Harmony Collective offers. A partnership between species that makes everyone stronger. You propose an alliance between humans and the Dominion? I propose something better. I propose that you join the Harmony Collective. Share your military knowledge with species who will share their scientific and cultural knowledge with you. Instead of ruling through fear, rule through respect. War Commander Vex was quiet for a long moment, considering this unprecedented proposal. No species had ever suggested that the Dominion join them rather than surrender to them. And if I refuse? Alex smiled. Then you'll miss the opportunity to be part of something greater than conquest. You'll remain a powerful empire, but you'll also remain isolated and eventually you'll encounter something that will destroy you. You threaten me? I warn you. The galaxy is big and full of surprises. The species that survives longest is the one that makes the most friends. Commander Vex studied Alex for a long time. Finally, he spoke. Your proposal is interesting. I will consider it. But first, I want to see if your species can prove they are worthy of survival. What kind of proof? A demonstration. Show me that humans can work with the Harmony Collective to solve a problem that neither species could solve alone.